Moving on to a statement from Donald Trump that stood out for more reasons than one. He has announced plans to impose 25% tariffs on goods imported from the European Union. It's a major move, yes, and it carries far-reaching implications. But Trump said a lot more. Listen in.
The European Union's it was formed in order to screw the United States. I mean, look, let's be honest. The European Union was formed in order to screw the United States. That's the purpose of it. And they've done a good job of it, but now I'm president.
Let's also tell you this. Speaking to reporters alongside his cabinet, Trump stated that the tariffs on EU would apply broadly, including on cars and various other products. So what exactly is Trump trying to do here? The message was reportedly clear that American businesses and workers deserve better trade deals, and he intends to use tariffs as a leverage to get them. And how has the European Union reacted, you're wondering? Well, it wasted no time. The European Commission, which basically oversees trade policy for the bloc, issued a sharp rebuttal. A spokesperson emphasized that the EU has been beneficial for US businesses, rejecting Trump's claim that it was established to undermine America, adding that if the US enforces these tariffs, Europe will hit back firmly and immediately. Meanwhile, the French government spokesperson countered Trump's comments, saying that the European Union was not created to quote-unquote bother the United States. In a post on the platform X, Poland's Prime Minister rejected Trump's remarks and said that the EU was formed to maintain peace, build respect, create free and fair trade, and to strengthen transatlantic friendship. That's not all. The Spanish Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez, said that if the US went ahead with the tariff, EU's response would be quote-unquote proportionate. Says a lot. According to reports, in fact, Trump has long accused the EU of disadvantaging American exports, particularly in the automotive and agricultural sectors. The EU reportedly imposes a 10% tariff on American cars, while the US applies a 2.5% duty on European cars. Meanwhile, EU officials warned that escalating trade tensions with the US could in fact hurt businesses on both sides of the Atlantic. According to analysts, Americans could end up paying more for goods if Trump's tariffs on EU take effect. And not just that, economists have also warned that such measures could actually contribute to inflation, raising prices across various sectors in the United States. You see, since taking office, Trump has imposed a 10% tariff on Chinese imports and threatened additional duties on various goods from other countries. Trump has also ordered his administration to explore reciprocal tariffs, meaning if another country imposes high tariffs on US goods, Trump basically wants to match them with equally steep levies. But here's where the uncertainty actually sets in. While Trump has made such threats, he's also shown a pattern of delaying or modifying his tariff plans. Businesses and trade analysts are reportedly left guessing on whether Trump will actually follow through. Remember, Trump had announced 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico as well as Canada, only to pause them before they could take effect, and set a deadline of March 4 for its implementation. But at his first cabinet meeting since returning to power, Trump has set a new date for this.
I was going to do it on April 1st, but I'm a little bit superstitious, so I made it April 2nd. The tariffs go on, not all of them, but a lot of them.
Note those words, not all of them, but a lot of them. And you see, a lot will depend on what that means. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Can heat waves age you faster? Well, there's some bad news. A new study says, yes, extreme heat can affect people's DNA functions and accelerate the aging process itself. Imagine that. This new report, published Wednesday in the journal Science Advances, has basically revealed that those living in neighborhoods prone to extreme heat, classified as 90 degrees and above, showed more accelerated aging at a molecular level as compared to those in areas less prone to extreme heat. The researchers analyzed over 3,600 older adults in the US. Before coming to this conclusion, the findings suggest now that heat waves and rising temperatures from climate change could be chemically modifying people's DNA, speeding up their biological aging. The authors of the study estimated that a person living in an area that reached 90 degrees, that is above 32 degrees Celsius, for 140 days or more in a year, could age up to 14 months faster than someone in an area with fewer than 10 extreme heat days a year. And to conduct the study, the researchers studied 3 biomarker aging estimates, otherwise known as epigenetic clocks. What's that, you might be wondering? Epigenetic clocks measure biological changes that could basically predict the future risk of disease or death associated with older age. They estimate how well the body is functioning at the molecular and the cellular level. For this study, the markers were derived from blood samples of people above the age of 56. And they then looked at these age estimates alongside 6 years of daily climate data, comparing them across geographies. While DNA is fixed at birth, external factors like stress or pollution can trigger molecular changes that turn the genes on and off and affect how they operate. Simply put, while DNA is like a blueprint, these epigenetic changes are like the switchboard that controls which part of the blueprint gets activated, just to put it simply. And this was the first population-level analysis to establish a connection between heat exposure and epigenetic aging in human beings. The findings of the study are extremely important as they could offer an explanation for geographic health trends. You see, many of the places in the US that the study found to have the most extremely hot days are also some of the states that have the worst health profiles. But the researchers added that heat likely is not the only factor. The researchers emphasized there's not enough data to definitively conclude that heat exposure caused the acceleration in aging. It only suggests that the two seem to be linked. And experts say there are still many questions left to be answered, like how might things like air conditioning affect epigenetic aging? Or can short visits to hotter areas also cause you to age faster? Can moving away from hotter areas reverse the aging then? This study opens the doors to future research into all of these questions and more. But for now, as it turns out, living with extreme heat might make you age faster. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have you heard about zombie cigarettes? As you may have guessed already, they are no ordinary cigarettes. In fact, they are becoming quite a menace in Thailand. But what exactly are they, and what's the reason for the concern? You see, recently the Thai government has warned teenagers about the rising threat. The deputy spokesperson for the Thai Prime Minister's office, in fact, revealed that drug traffickers are developing new synthetic drugs to entice both new and former users. And despite stringent government efforts to tackle drug trafficking, the sale of zombie cigarettes has picked up, which are particularly popular in Bangkok's Thonglor district. But what exactly are these cigarettes all about? Why are they called zombie cigarettes? And how can they harm youngsters who smoke them? Well, simply put, zombie cigarettes are a combination of e-cigarettes and etomidate, also known as space oil, which is a form of sedative usually used for medical purposes. However, when abused as a drug, etomidate induces health risks, including severe drowsiness, low blood pressure, nausea, confusion, even unconsciousness. The Deputy Chief of the Department of Medical Services warns that smokers of such e-cigarettes could die as the substance is used in anesthetic procedures. Such e-cigarettes have been reportedly sold online and in social settings, and also advertised as inducing relaxation. Just for context here, the latest set of warnings coming in the wake of troubling reports of severe health problems linked to vaping in Thailand, where 3 students were hospitalized on separate occasions after they complained of chest pain and shortness of breath from vaping. And not just Thailand, in fact, in Hong Kong, between last year and January, authorities recorded a total of 69 cases involving such drugs and seized 5 kg of vape cartridges or liquids containing narcotics. And since mid-February, Hong Kong authorities have altogether banned the use of zombie cigarettes. In November, Taiwan upgraded etomidate used in zombie cigarettes to a Category 2 narcotic, criminalizing its possession and use. In the UK, this drug is found to be largely consumed by school students. Last year, a new study found that 1 in 6 vapes confiscated from school children in England was found to be laced with zombie drug spice in tests conducted by a professor from the University of Bath. Zombie drug spice in confiscated vapes was found in 28 out of 38 schools across London, the West Midlands, Greater Manchester and South Yorkshire. This is extremely concerning, especially as the study revealed that the prevalence of the illegal street drug could cause heart attacks, strokes, seizures, psychotic episodes. In another instance, zombie drug xylazine has been found in cannabis THC vapes in the UK, reportedly putting people ingesting it at high risk. So what's the way out? How does one even tackle the menace? It's been suggested that besides governmental intervention, parents should be extra cautious when it comes to spotting if their kids are indulging in drug-laced vaping practices, and basically look out for signs like isolated behavior, aloofness, or being drowsy for a large part of the day. Remember, when it comes to vaping or smoking, it's perhaps best to kick the habit to the curb, and also, as suggested by experts, to avoid long-term consequences. And those finding it difficult could always switch to measures like nicotine gums or seek therapy or even professional help. Quitting may be hard, but there's always a start. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.